And I'm back up hunting again after 4 days work. I'm hunting the same spot that I hunted the other evening when I killed that doe. And the main thing different about today versus then was it's been enough time passed that this is not the only white oak to be dropping acorns now. There's a lot of other white oaks dropping, but hopefully they kind of developed a habit of coming to this one, and something will show up. It's a nice breezy morning. It's crisp, probably about 70 degrees now. I love hunting these late mornings. The deer have a tendency to feed a lot of times 9, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and the prime feeding time for today is supposed to be that time. I knew it. I knew she had me. Oh boy. That's the way it goes. It's an old doe. She was poor. Real poor. Alright, I'm back up the tree this evening. I've got a timber shark on the string. One that I modified to accept the old Simmons bleeders. Slotted it with a Dremel. Got that in there. I love a bleeder and a Simmons. Good combination. But after getting busted this morning, I decided to climb down and did a little scouting. Found it to be a pretty good number of white oak acorn trees dropping in that bottom that I was hunting in. And I started to hunt another area within that bottom, but I got to thinking, there's so many white oaks dropping in there, my odds aren't as good as maybe a place with more isolated trees dropping. So I got to thinking about several places that only had 2 or 3 white oaks, and scouted one of those spots, and it wasn't dropping very good, and none of them were dropping good. And I scouted another place that had got 2 swamp chestnut acorn trees, and found them to be dropping a decent amount, and a good bit of sign underneath, both hog and deer. So I decided to make a move over here and hunt it. I've got a real good tree. Tree really needed to be more on the downwind side of the swamp chestnut, which is about 15 yards to my right. But it had good cover behind me, all this green leafy stuff. So they're kind of used to seeing that blob out of the corner of my eye, corner of their eye. So they ain't as apt to look up and see it when they're used to seeing something up there. spot I hunted this morning, I just kind of took a chance, and I thought it'd be good. I knew where some swamp chestnuts were, and I'd hunted there earlier this season, and a big family group of does came through. I got a shot and missed, but the acorns really wasn't dropping there that good then. Well, I knew they'd be dropping by now, and I went back in there this morning, climbed up before daylight, and by 9 o'clock, nothing had came through, and I could tell there wasn't a lot of sign on the ground. And I got down and looked. Sure enough, it wasn't any deer sign there. So I decided right then and there, that'd be the last take a chance hunt I'm gonna do. Everything else from now on, I'm gonna make sure there's a good sign before I ever climb. Alright, I got in there real close to the white oaks, and I can hear them dropping up there, and before I even get to them, I'm starting to pick up a lot of deer tracks on this trail right there. So I know it's gonna be hot. I'm just trying to stand here and listen for a minute and see which oak seems to be dropping the most acorns. Right now there's one back here right by the tree I normally climb. So I hadn't spooked anything, so that's good. Got a little puff of a breeze, and probably about 5 acorns fell right in front of me here. Probably 5 to 10 yards from the tree I'm gonna be hunting. There's several more dropping right in there. Wind switching around a little bit right now, so that ain't good, but it's supposed to be northeast today, and that'd be perfect. Alright, I got settled in pretty quick. I am pouring sweat though, but these white oaks are pouring acorns. Alright, I'm back up the tree and settled in early. I'm probably got climbed and settled at about 1 o'clock. Just to my left, got a white oak, the swamp white oak dropping acorns. And all underneath me, I got both last year's horn rubs and some of this year's horn rubs. And there's a big horn rub right down from me, so pretty good buck spot. It's my first time hunting it. I came through here and scouted it last year, and it was just tore up with horn rubs. hurting so bad. They think they're snorting to alert every deer in the country of my presence. What they're really doing is exposing themselves. I'll be over there tomorrow. Getting late and I have not seen a deer all afternoon. I don't know what's going on. The movement is terrible. Well, I'm back in here on these hot white oaks down on the creek. This is where I filmed the 5-point the other day and the spike. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Boy, howdy. I just ate that deer up. Had two across the creek ground. Like two does. Let's see. This air's pretty much coated with blood. I gotta get that knock off. You know, there's usually blood on the ground right where you hit them. See, I shot that one with a bleeder. Went in the ground about 2 inches of air in the ground, plus the broadhead. A pretty easy track, but I've seen better blood trails. She was hit a little bit high, about midway to the body, and it came out the armpit on the other side, which is really, really a good shot. I'm pleased with the shot. Expected a little more blood. I shot her with the Simmons tree shark. No, not the tree shark. We got so many sharks, I get them confused. This was the timber shark. Now, I'll get it right in a minute. This is actually the swamp shark. The timber shark is a little bit bigger head. I like the swamp shark, but I like the timber shark better. But anyway, I can't imagine if I'd have shot this deer with a real small head. I mean, sometimes they leave there so fast they just can't bleed fast enough to leave a great trail, and that's what she did. She was humping the please when she left there. She was running as fast as a deer can run, and she covered a lot of ground in a little bit of time, and she probably went 130 yards or something like that, and went down, probably died on her feet, just running full tilt. But anyway, I gotta get her packed up. I got a lot of work to do. Hey everybody, it's November the 27th. It's about 1:30 p.m. and I'm back in here on these water oaks where I hunted this past Friday. I'm up a double holly tree. There's one right here in front of me that I got the camera mounted on, and one behind me that my stand is in, and I got my harness on the one in front of me. It's my favorite way to set up a double tree or a triple tree for the big target doe that I want to really kill. She came from the northwest, and she was super wise. I'd like to take her out. She looked right up in the tree and saw me. After she smelled me, she stood out in the thicket for 30 minutes waiting on the wind to switch. I see the blood. Good gracious alive. I stuck it to it pretty good. It was low right there. The big old sharp doe, she nailed me. And looked up here and saw me. Aggravating thing. I'd like to got her because she's a sharp one. I ended up getting probably one of her last year's does, fawns maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It may be a grown doe that still following her. So hard to see in this pine straw. There she is right there. There she is. Yep, that's a little yearling doe. I really wanted the mama. Holy smokes, that's the side I shot her on.